Hello, hello. Are you battling with your child to get them to even attempt their schoolwork? Do you feel like you've tried everything, but you just don't know what to do to help them? I know that feeling of desperation. Whether you're in a classroom or working with your own kids at home, this is a common problem. And because I've spent my entire career working with kids with learning challenges, including my own two sons, I'm very familiar with this situation and the stress that it can cause for everyone, the child, the educator. I'm Norma Jean, and I'm the founder of Time to Shine Teaching and Coaching, and I'm going to share some tips and strategies that I use that I think are going to help you when you're feeling at your wit's end. And I think the first thing we have to do is we need to have compassion. And I always say that understanding creates compassion. And when you think about it, how they're behaving is usually pretty understandable. If you had a job where you didn't understand the work that you were assigned to do, and every day it just kind of got harder and harder and you still didn't understand, how long would it take for you before you lost your enthusiasm or even your desire to learn it, right? And then what would it take to get you back on track? So obviously the right teaching method, that's for sure. But also, what if you had a cheerleader that had absolute faith in you and absolute faith in your ability to do it, right? And they had high expectations and they didn't accept you giving up, but they instead provided you with the level of support that you needed. And there's a fine line there, right? We need to support without doing for, right? We need to give the tools, teach them to use them, and then encourage them to make attempts, because there are no mistakes. I refuse to call anything a mistake or you did that wrong. It's only good attempts. It's like if you were learning to play guitar and you quit because you made a mistake, well, you would never learn to play guitar or soccer or tie your shoelaces or whatever. Everything requires you to keep making attempts, right? And on top of that, we need to have the patience to wait while they learn how to apply these things that we've given them or taught them. And we can't give in. So these are the steps that I recommend. I always start by discussing the expectations for that learning session, right? So this is what we're going to do today. And you know, if it was a private tutoring student, I'd say, okay, we've got an hour, we're going to cover these things. Or what do you want to start with, this or this, or whatever. But if you're working with a child in class or your own child at home, you could say, okay, this is what we're going to get done in this learning session. We have A, B, and C to do. Okay, that's all we're going to do. Like, don't give them pages and pages. Break it down into small bits. But these are the things that we're going to do today. Right? And then set your boundaries. And by that, I mean, I know you really want to go and play with your friends and they're waiting for you. So let's get this done, because once you're done, then you can go. Or I know I promised to take you to wherever, the toy store, and we're going to do that. But first we're going to do this, right? So that's first this, then that. And I think this next one is actually quite important because it's a life lesson, but call them on any disrespectful behavior. It's one thing for a child to be feeling frustrated and for them to show that frustration and even to butt heads a little bit. That's kind of normal. But screaming, yelling, name calling, meltdowns, whatever, staring at you and ignoring you when you speak to them, I call that stuff. I'm like, part of me, like, no, thank you. I'm here to help you. I don't accept that behavior. That's really disrespectful. I've done nothing to deserve that. All I'm doing is being here, wanting to support you, wanting to help you get this work done, wanting to show you how to do it. The way you're treating me is not okay. I'm just going to wait until you can find a better way to treat me. Let me know when you're ready. And be consistent, right? Always keep your expectations high and keep them the same, right? Not today it's this and tomorrow it's that. And what I mean by that is, okay, I know I said we were going to do 3 things today, but you know, I'm tired of your attitude. So you've only got 2 done, but off you go. No, don't do that, right? Or I know I said we had 3 things, but you worked really hard on the first 2. So I'm not going to, we're just going to quit now. No, don't do that, right? You always want to stay committed to what your first thing was, which was, discussing the expectations for the lesson. And particularly if you're giving into bad behavior, all you're doing, even though it's working for you because, now you don't have to deal with the bad behavior, all you're really doing is reinforcing that bad behavior. You've just taught them that when they behave like that, they don't have to do the work that they don't want to do. You've just taught them that tomorrow, if they do the same thing, they're going to get out of their work. And if tomorrow you decide that's not going to work, you've just got a bigger battle. So don't do that. And of course, it's really important that you always stay calm. Regardless of what their behavior is, you need to control yours. Because if all you're doing is rising with them, trust me, it's not going to end well. So my voice never goes beyond this kind of a level. I always stay polite, even if I'm going, hey, I don't deserve to be treated like that. I'm not yelling. I'm just stating a fact that I don't need to be treated like that, and it's not okay. And I use the words, no, thank you. That's not acceptable. No, thank you. I don't accept that. I use that a lot. No, thank you. So I think using those steps, you can turn things around. As a matter of fact, I guarantee it, because I've done this over and over and over and over. But don't expect change overnight, because it took them some time to get to that reluctant place that they're in right now. And it's going to take them some time to get to a better place. It's going to take them some time to realize that, well, there's no use fighting this, because I can tell that it's always going to be like this. I really do think that consistency is such a huge factor when you're dealing with, first with kids in their learning, but especially in their behaviors, right? When you're trying to correct a behavior or modify it or teach a life skill to a kid that says, you know what, we don't get very far when we treat people like that. The way you're talking to me right now, would you talk to your best friend's mom like that? Because if the answer is no with her, then it should be no with me, because treating people like that, doesn't matter who they are, it's just not okay. And that's something that hopefully they're going to carry into their adulthood. It's like, words are very powerful, and we need to be careful how we use them, because once you say them, they're out there. So always think about how you're talking to people. So those are my tips for you today. I hope that you give that a try, and that you let me know how it goes. But again, don't expect that it's going to be an overnight sensation. You're going to come up against it to begin with, especially if that's not how you've been responding to them in the past. So when you introduce that, oh, what's mom doing, or what's the teacher doing here, I don't quite get it, it's going to be a new sensation for them. So give it time. And by time, I don't mean, oh, I'm going to try this for a couple of days and, oh, it's not working. I worked with a child. It took me 6 weeks, 6 sessions with her once a week, 6 sessions before she kind of finally clued into the fact that her bad behavior towards me, her rudeness, her disrespect got nothing from me. No reaction other than, no thanks, I don't deserve that. I'm just going to wait until you can find a better way. We're still doing this. This isn't going away. Like this work's getting done before I leave. But, so anyways, give it a shot. And I did want to let everybody know that right now, the first letter pack from my reading, spelling, and printing program, that includes the first 5 letters that I teach, is now available for download on my website, timetoshineteaching.com, for free. All you have to do is go on there and say, yes, please, just click on it and it's yours. It includes everything you're going to need to teach reading, spelling, and printing. It's scripted, so you don't need to think about what to say. I mean, you can always add to it, but it's scripted. It tells you how to present the material. Every letter has a video tutorial that shows you how to deliver it. I've made it really comprehensive and easy to follow, I think, anyways. And of course, as you get to know the program and you're comfortable with the format, then you're going to want to add your own flavor and personality to it. But right off the bat, you don't have to worry about a thing. You don't have to think about what you're going to teach, how you're going to teach it. It's just there. It's laid right out for you. And I also offer some ideas for supplementary activities that are going to enhance and solidify the learning, because I recommend, especially with, beginner level or emergent learners that you start off slow, right? So 1 letter a week kind of thing to start with. And even if you think, oh, my kid knows that letter already, they're not going to know it to the same degree that they're going to know it once you teach it my way, because the way I teach it, there's going to leave no room for them to not understand how to read it, how to spell it, how to print it. So I did just want to share a message that I received from somebody who downloaded it, a teacher who downloaded it, and she said, "Hi Norma Jean, I've just downloaded the first letters and watched the video tutorials, and I can't thank you enough for this. It's excellent and so well done." So thank you very much to Vicki for that wonderful feedback. I really do appreciate hearing that. And you know, same goes for if there's something that you think that I've missed, or you weren't quite sure what I meant, or you're looking for more clarification, or, well, how can I present it this way? Tell me, because this is my beta program, and I want to make sure that when I release it as a whole program to the world, that it is the best that it can be. So any and all feedback is always appreciated. And tell me what you're struggling with today. You know, where's your challenges? What is it that you're looking for support in? I check my messages daily, and it's the first thing I do every morning is I look through my messages and I respond. So I really do want to help support people. So if there's one thing in particular that you're looking for and I haven't covered it and you wish I would, please tell me what it is. If there's whether you're a teacher in a classroom, or you're homeschooling, or you're a parent that's just dealing with behaviors, I'm a behavior interventionist as well as a reading and spelling specialist. So, you know, I have a lot of experience and knowledge, and helping people is exactly what I love to do. So I hope to hear from you, and I encourage you to go on to timetoshineteaching.com and have a look for that letter pack. It's under courses. And I also have my membership open as well. So the membership is going to include that whole program. And just right now, the first letter pack is free for everybody, but in the future, it'll be a paid material that you could purchase in my shop, but it will be included in your membership, as well as all kinds of other supplementary materials and resources. And also, if you're a member in my community, you also get to decide how that membership grows. What do you need? What do you need help with? What are your challenges? Let me help you. Let me find the materials, create the materials, provide you with the materials that are going to support you and your student best. So thank you very much, you guys. I always appreciate getting your feedback. Take good care, and happy teaching.